It's time we give back. Sow a seed and show someone where love's at. Even if you don't give a dime, give your heart and share your time. Help somebody else in life. Give back. Let's give back.
Welcome to this episode of Ignite, Empower, Transform. I am your host, Hosea James Gavan II, and this is an opportunity where we showcase urban superheroes here in the Bronx and around the world. We have a very special guest, a Bronx person, coming all the way, originally, from East Chicago, Indiana. Francesca Monson, also known as Cheka Shining. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It is truly an honor.
I do want to start out this show, as I mentioned to you off camera. A month ago, we lost a major part of my team, a brother by the name of Trayvon McMillan. And I do want to just send my condolences to his family. This brother was extremely, extremely valuable to my organization, the National Give Back for Kids campaign and the SADI program. He was one of my coaches, extremely reliable. I devoted a chapter in my book to him, Coach Trey, and I cited as his primary traits, punctuality and reliability. He was always there, and he's going to be truly missed. It was a sudden thing. He wasn't sick, and his significant other found him, unfortunately, unconscious, and they were unable to revive him. But I'm going to devote the rest of these next few shows before the year ends to his memory. He was such a good brother. He will definitely be sorely missed. And I'm about to get choked up, so I'm going to try to refocus and get back to you. Wow. But I did want to say that.
My prayers to the family. Love and prayers. And
Amen.
From what I've read, he is an amazing man.
Yes.
So
he actually really was.
I'm really happy that you're honoring him.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go back to your story, okay? Indiana girl. You know my dad's from Gary, Indiana, not far from where you grew up. And not often do you meet in New York City, and I've lived here my entire life. You are the first person that I have actually met from Indiana. Tell us how you wound up in New York City.
Pretty much. I moved around a lot when I was a kid. And one day I just decided I wanted to be in New York. I love New York. It's the city that never sleeps. And it's a city of opportunities. I came down here and I started working. I was actually singing back then on stages. And, became a mom and stopped everything for a little while.
Okay.
I'm back at it again, though.
Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. But I came to meet you through Luis Torres.
Yes.
And he is the Bronx principal, very, very popular and effective educator, community leader. My brother, someone who I love and respect. He and I have worked on different projects together, and he has also been a guest as you have been. But this is the first time we have you in studio, because during those times when we couldn't get in studio and I was doing the Zoom thing, I was like,
it wasn't
I
the same.
feeling it. They need to see you live and in person, because you have so much positive energy and such a sweet disposition. And this is you're the kind of community leader I think that you've already been effective, but you're the type of person I think more people need to come in contact with, because you nothing but positive vibes.
Thank you.
Nothing but positive vibes. So talk to me about your community activism.
Well, I think I started off when my kids were going to Taurus school. I call him the man with the golden heart.
Yes.
I was
Great
PTA
description.
president, so I got to work a lot with parents. I learned a lot of things from him and from a lot of teachers, community. Now I'm working with Butler Gardens, which I got to draw, I got to paint. It was just so exciting. I got to work with other parents, other not teachers, sorry. Other artists, so I learned from them too. So it was a very exciting moment. We could use more volunteers though, seriously. Like if anybody want to join.
So now Butler Gardens is what?
Butler Gardens is a community garden. So pretty much we planted things there. We set it up. There's books there the kids could sit down and read. We're trying to give back to the community, so the youth has somewhere to go instead of getting into trouble.
Where is it located?
170 in Webster Avenue.
Okay, ooh, that's in a place that really needs that type of
Yes.
support.
Yes.
That type of support. And I'd love to come down and visit and see how we can get our network to be connected with what you're doing and what they're doing down there. 'Cause
Yes.
you're in one of those prime locations where you definitely need that kind of support. And the community can be blessed by that type of energy, positive energy, and those types of programs.
Yes.
We didn't get to you last. You were scheduled to appear on our show about 3 weeks ago, and there was an incident that prevented you from coming. And I think what I want to talk about is in your time here in New York City, I'm feeling that there's been an increase in the crime activity in our communities. And because you couldn't make it, because I think you couldn't leave your apartment, right?
Yeah,
Because
pretty much. So the day before my birthday,
which is too much
10/10,
information?
October
Okay.
10th,
Okay.
guys,
All right.
lucky numbers. So before my birthday, somebody took my purse. So
Right.
I lost a lot of, money, everything I had.
Right.
So I couldn't make the show because I had no way to get here.
Right. Wow.
Yeah,
I wish I'd have known. I'd have.
but things happen, you know.
Right. Right.
And I'm very independent, so I'm used to handling everything on my own.
Right. But again, going back to, I started my teaching career in the school that you were the PTA president of.
Wow.
I don't know if you knew that.
No.
And I was doing this back in the crack era. And that community had drastically improved, and it seems like it's drifting back into
Yeah.
what it was. What are the types of things that we can do? And this is, now you're talking to the
Audience.
audience.
Okay, I think we
To
need
help to improve.
more sponsors, more volunteers. We need to show the kids that they can't be in the street. And if they're gonna be in the street, let's give them something to do. Seriously, we don't have a park, so if we had a park maybe with exercise, things to motivate wellness and fitness, instructors, like there's so many things you could give back to these kids right now because it is a very hard community. It really is. I am grateful for Mr. Torres, Luis Torres from PS55, because he is giving back to the community. Butler Gardens, they're helping out a lot. You can reach Javier if you want to participate. Terry Hirsch, she's doing a lot for us too. So I just want to say, if you guys have any way that you guys want to help our community to make it a little better so things like this don't happen, please reach out, guys, please. We could use your support.
Wow, that was great. Okay. But I just want to say that your spirit and that energy, we got to continue to capture it and promote it. And we're going to take a quick PSA break, and we'll be right back.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all
Is
good,
it,
baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other,
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Jason, let's go see your room.
Welcome back to this episode of Ignite, Empower, Transform. I am your host, Hosea James Gavan II, and I am here with Cheka Shining, and she is shining some important information on us, and she's going to share with us a little bit about what you're into now. So I've been able to follow you on Instagram, and I see you're doing some amazing things in the community as well as professionally. Let's talk more about what you're into right now, because I see you all the time, everywhere, modeling, acting. How'd you get into that?
Okay, so I just love it. It's like a calling, as you call it, and I can't be one thing. I like everything too much, so I'm kind of doing everything. I'm a runway model, lead model, made it, so I'm very grateful. I do regular print modeling.
So what is a lead model?
A lead model is a head model, and it's truly an honor to get to that level because you got to work for it. You got to earn that spot, and somebody really has to believe in you that you could handle that. So, you know, I'm plus size. I'm not a regular size, and there's industry standards, but it is truly an honor to actually make it to that level.
Right. So, as a plus size model, that is something that you really promote in terms of body positive, right?
Yes.
That's something that you feel is important
Yes.
because a lot of women are not comfortable with who they are, right? And how God made them, right? And you are like, yo, this is me, this is how God made me, and I'm loving me, and I'm letting everybody know I'm good, and you accept me as I am. But I think that's a great message for women right now.
Yes.
And you do a fantastic job. But you're talking about trying to set up different opportunities where you can really begin to get that message out. You talked about something off camera. You want to talk about it now?
The body positive.
You talked about a website or a page where you're dedicating.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot. I'm going to be setting up a page. I have two Instas. So one of them is my model page, and I promote other things there. And then I have a big one, which I'm actually under construction right now. That is going to be a self-love page.
Okay.
Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me for tips, pointers. So I want to give back.
That's what's up. But you're a mother as well, right?
Yes.
You have
5 little angels.
5. Are they all little? Are they ranged?
Different ages.
Right.
Different ages. My
Okay.
youngest is 4, and my oldest is 18.
Wow. So is it he or she?
He.
He is 18. Is he graduating or about to graduate?
Well, God willing, because we are in prayer right now, that he gets his scholarship, and he will be going, praying to God, to a good university. Won't say where it's at, though.
That's fantastic. And
Yeah.
and again, with all that you do, being able to balance the professional part and being a mother is something that I think is highly commendable, but it's also a great challenge. you
Oh,
know?
yes. It is overwhelming. And if there's any single moms out there, listen, it's okay not to be okay. Seriously. Because you're going to have days that are very great, and then there's days you're going to be stressed out, overwhelmed, and you're going to try to figure everything out. And it's hard when you're by yourself. But you keep going.
But the way that you've operated, you're part of a village, right? You're part of a community, and it seems like you have a support system in place. Do you or don't you?
Well, I have a babysitter as needed. She comes every other weekend. I co-parent. So I do have that support. As for my village, I volunteer, I help out, they support me. They're always reminding me to keep going and never give up. Always, you know, God's by my side.
How often do you get back to Indiana and that part of the...
I haven't been there in years.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I mean, I have, like I told you, I have roots in that same part of the country. I try to get back there at least once a year. I was born in Chicago.
Okay.
But I have a lot of family in Gary, which is like 45 minutes
Oh, wow.
from Chicago. We want to talk a little bit about your acting career.
Okay. As acting, well, I got into extra work. I filmed a couple of films. I got some extra roles. One of them in particular, I actually got a speaking role. Another one too. They haven't come out yet, guys. But as soon as they come out, I swear I will put it all over my Insta, and you will be the first one to know.
So are these movie productions on Netflix? It will be in the theaters? Or can you say?
One of them will be on Netflix, but I can't say too much on it because it hasn't come out, and it's, they gotta say it first before me.
But did you have any kind of training? How did you get into acting?
Oh my God, I've been acting since I was a kid. It was just my passion, my calling.
Oh, so you were singing, acting back in the day.
Yeah.
Coming to New York, want to be a star.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And
I
just
get
looking
it.
for an opportunity,
Okay.
work hard for what I want.
Okay. So you did the school plays and that type of
I
stuff.
sung in school, church choir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're pursuing your passion. It's coming together, and it appears that you're going to get to where you're going, and that's amazing.
Thank you.
How often do you do the modeling versus? Because what I see with you, it seems like it's every day. Because every time I turn on Instagram, you're in a different place doing a different set.
Yeah, pretty much it's like every other day I'm doing modeling. If I'm not doing runway, I'm doing print, magazine shoots. So I'm like pretty much balancing myself, but I do also do influencer jobs. So sometimes I'm promoting for a company, or I'm doing digital creator, so it depends on the day. I also do voiceover. So depends on the day. And I'm working on my own show, Queens on the Rise, by the way, guys.
So where's that going to be? Queens on the Rise.
Queens on the Rise is a show, me and honestly my best friend, partner, Kiki, we're making it come true, and it should be in production hopefully next year.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool. I want to definitely be the first to, when you launch that, I want to have you back and help you launch that. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
It took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Say I'm on my own, I mean it.
Welcome back to this final segment of Ignite, Empower, Transform. I am your host, Hosea James Gavan II, and I'm here with Cheka Shining, and she had me laughing in between the PSA, so y'all caught a little bit of that. So we talked about your community leadership. We talked about your career as an actress, a singer, and a model. But you're also embarking on one more venture.
Yes.
You're an author of a children's book. Let's talk about that.
Livy's Adventures. I'm very proud of these books. So pretty much Livy's Adventure is what I go through with my daughter. How I've been teaching her things I've learned, things that will be beneficial to others. Because sometimes as a parent, it's hard. And we learn things, and sometimes discipline, sometimes things that you're not learning at school, we could teach our children. So it takes a village to raise these kids,
What are some of those things you're not getting at school that you're going to get in your book?
Well, I've incorporated sign language, so that's a very important thing because I feel that kids should learn different things. My daughter, she's learning French, Spanish, and sign language.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
So
what made you think of I get this, the French, I get the Spanish, but the the sign language. That's not something that's common that you would teach somebody, and I think it's interesting. But what made you? What prompted you to choose that language? Yeah.
Well, one day we were at the store and there was a kid and she was trying to communicate, but she couldn't because the kid didn't understand her. So I was like, I spoke to the mom. The mom was like, oh, he does sign language. I was like, I'm gonna teach her. So we've been teaching her little by little.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's taking that's observing a situation in society and trying to come up with a solution to make things better. So you're a problem solver.
Yes.
In addition to everything else that you do.
Yes.
And that's amazing. I think that's fantastic. Now, we were talking over the break about the fact, I had mentioned the family, and then you tell me that you're actually going to have a very special Thanksgiving coming up. And you seem to be very excited about it.
I am. So I'm a single mom, obviously, and I'm always alone.
It's not that obvious.
Oh, no.
Why do you say that?
I figure everybody realized that already. I keep busy a lot, guys. But seriously, this year is going to be amazing. I'm finally going to have family down here. You know, it's really hard sometimes when you don't have family.
Oh, yeah.
And especially the holidays. So my mom's coming down.
And she's coming from where?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. So you got your Midwest roots are deep, but you're Latina.
Yeah.
Right. So where is the start point with the Latina, Latin roots?
My Latin roots are very strong. I'm Puerto Rican and Indian, so let me tell you, I know how to cook guanimos. Those are really, very good Indian food. Oh my God. So the way I was raised, pretty much, I was always back and forth a lot, but I did go to school for a couple years in Puerto Rico. I learned my Spanish. I learned how to sing, choir, everything in Puerto Rico too. Acting classes, all that stuff was in Puerto Rico.
Oh, is that right? Wow. Okay. How many siblings do you have?
I have one brother and one sister.
Okay. Now you said Puerto Rican and Indian?
Taino Indian. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. Is that a tribe? Where is that? Where they tribe in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself giving back. If everything plays the way I see it in my head, between the books and everything else I want to do on top of that, I want to give back. I want to help other single moms. Nobody knows how hard it is at times, you know, and single moms have it hard. They stay quiet and they put up with a lot because you get criticized for going after your dreams at times. And that's not fair. I want to try to give them hope.
Right. Have you always thought like this? I mean, in terms of this body positive, this real, shining, bright, energetic spirit, or did you evolve into this person?
I think through pain you find your strength. And I've gone through so many things in my life that I don't want to be that person. I want to be positive. I want to give back to the world the right way, you know, and that's probably what shines my light.
And you not only does that light shine, but it seems to be people capture that light and you're inspiring others. And I think that's amazing. So many times we could have you do a commercial for us.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Because you really are wonderful at putting your thoughts together and your ideas and bringing about that positive energy, which we need so much in this community. Do you have any closing remarks, anything you want to say to the audience as we come to the beginning?
Guys, if you have a dream, don't let nobody stop you. You can be anything you want to be, but you got to work for it. There's no shortcuts in life, seriously. Keep the negativity down, positivity up, and always be careful who you surround yourself with. Not everybody has good intentions.
And that's a heaven of a closing statement. You are a mother, an actress, a model, a community leader, someone that I admire and look up to. I think that you're doing some wonderful things in all the things that you're doing. And the fact that you're able to balance everything, I think that's amazing. I want to close out by just one more time. Trey McMillan was part of our National Give Back for Kids campaign coaching staff. His son Bryce was one of my students at PS 463, and that's how I came to know Coach Trey. We talked to our PTA, former PTA president, and one thing I can say about this particular parent, opposed to so many parents that I've been able to come in contact with through the years that I was involved in education, this particular parent, Coach Trey, his son was a problem. We had problems with his son.
Oh, wow.
Right? He was a challenging young man. But every time I reached out to his dad, every time I reached out to Coach Trey and told him about whatever challenges that we were having, a lot of times parents will blame the school or blame the teacher or blame the institution. Never the case with Coach Trey. He always listened. He was always respectful. He was always positive and saying, you know, he was always on our side. Like a lot of parents are not. They're like against you.
Yeah.
He was never that way. And so when we started the Saturday program that we did at PS 463, it was about trying to get the fathers involved with their communities. He was one of the first persons that I reached out to. And Trey McMillan was a heck of a guy. He was like 6'7", like 350 pounds. I mean, he was a big dude, you know, but he had a heart of gold, loved his community, wanted to make a difference. I saw him turn his life around. You know, I saw he was hanging out on the block, hanging out with not necessarily the, you know, some challenging individuals, but over the course of our experience, I saw him change into a different type of person. And I think a lot of times when we do youth programs, we're looking at how we can impact the young people, but you also have an opportunity to impact the adults. And in this case, I can say without question, I know that based on our relationship, and we talked often, he lived a block away from the school that I was at for over 12 years. I know I made a difference in his life, and that's why I devoted a chapter in the book, because he's the kind of guy, he was the main guy that I felt was a model for the rest of the brothers in the community, because he went from hustling on the street to becoming an apprentice to coaching and doing the right thing. And on that note, I just want to thank you for joining us for this episode of Ignite, Empower, Transform. And remember, if it's in your heart, do your part. Today's help equals tomorrow's hope. I love our youth. Power to the people.